60 Minutes Rewind.
Is character important when it comes to picking a president? Depends on who the character is you're talking about. Here are P.J. O'Rourke and Molly Ivins with O'Rourke and Ivins, Ivins and O'Rourke.
Does character matter? That's going to be the big issue in the presidential race. Now, of course it matters. We don't want somebody in the White House sniffing paint and pawning the green room antiques. But what do we mean by character? Are we talking about personal character? Now, if so, we know which candidate has played by the rules and done his duty, and which candidate has the mushy-touchy, go-with-the-feeling, daytime TV morality invented by my generation, and I would like to apologize. But personal character can be misleading in politics. Our best-liked president, JFK, and our worst-liked, Nielsen, were both rascals. While the silliest president ever, Jimmy Carter, had so many scruples he couldn't dock Amy's allowance without getting UN okay. We should be talking about political character. Does the candidate have political principles about freedom and responsibility, social obligations, respect for the individual? And does the candidate stick to these principles in the face of all polling data and no matter what Ralph Reed or Hillary Clinton says? Short answer for Bob Dole, no. And Bill Clinton, double no with cheese. However, Molly, the real question about political character is, do we have any? Do we voters have political principles we're willing to stick to even when they're inconvenient or, God forbid, expensive? So, as usual, we're going to get a president with the same kind of character we have.
Who is he sleeping with? That's what the media have meant by character ever since the Gary Hart episode. After 20 years of covering American politics, I wish I could report that faithful husbands, wonderful dads, and politicians who are kind to their dogs always make the best leaders. But it ain't necessarily so. Jerry Ford was an awfully decent guy, but barely a C-minus president. I still think the media misunderstood Jimmy Carter. We were too cynical to believe anybody could get up every day and just try to be a good Christian. What most people see as the big character difference between Clinton and Dole seems to me just a generational difference. Dole was a hero in his generation's war, and Clinton opted out of ours. For decades in this country, we made the cruel error of blaming those who were sent to Vietnam for the hideous results of that war. Now we seem ready to blame those who didn't go instead. Truth is, there were no good choices in those years. PJ, our generation's war was worse than horrible. It was stupid. Anybody who stood up and said so at the time showed character. As they used to say in Nam, there it is. And as for our character, PJ, I think you're wrong. Don't blame the people. Lord knows we're none of us perfect. But it's the responsibility of leaders to call out the best in us. I think there's courage, idealism, generosity, and persistence in this country. There's just no one at the top bringing it out.